hearty welcome to Leela Jala and namaste to all the respected viewers of my channel. So far, I have presented some videos on various topics, but today it is going to be a little different. I am giving an audio on the topic Vedanta Deshikar and Muslim aggression or invasion of South India. We have included some pictures also, hence it's a mix of both audio and video. The topic of today's talk belongs to 14th century. Now we are in 21st century. We are dealing with something which is 700 years old. Sometimes the flow of time doesn't seem to change either the character or context of the society. Thus, even a 700-year-old topic appears to be quite relevant to present times. The trials and tribulations, anxiety and sufferings faced by Swami Vedanta Deshikar during his lifetime are almost the same as we are facing now. The intensity may vary in small degrees. Now let us introduce this renowned personality, Vedanta Deshikar, before dealing with the problems he encountered. Vedanta Deshikar Swami occupies the second rank in the great Vishishtadvaita tradition promulgated by Bhagavad Ramanujacharya. Vedanta Deshikar was born at Tupil, a suburb of Kanchi, in 1260 AD, that is Vibhava Samvatsara, the second half of 13th century. He mastered all branches of knowledge available at his times just at the tender age of 20. He was a versatile genius, a poet, a shastrakara, a great teacher, a logician, and a philosopher. Above all, an ardent devotee of Lord Mahavishnu. He was awarded many titles like Sarvatantra Swatantra, meaning a past master of all branches of knowledge, Kavitarkika Simha, a poet par excellence and a great logician. A Sanskrit saying, Bahuratna Vasundhara, is popular, which means there are so many gem-like personalities, which is very true. Our Swami was an elderly contemporary of Vidyaranya Swami of Sankeshwara Mata, whose chief contribution is to the political field of his times. Swami Vidyaranya is known to us by the most appropriate title Vijayanagara Samrajya Pratishthapanacharya. Vedanta Deshikar has authored over 100 works of eminence in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Tamil and Manipravala languages. One very interesting aspect of his personality was his humility and ability to accept challenges. Once, when he went to the famed Srirangam temple for worship, he was challenged to prove himself worthy of the title Kavitarkika Simha. He was asked to compose 1000 verses on a single topic in one night, and only on completing the task the title would be validated and not otherwise. The scholar who challenged him was Adagaya Manavala Perumal Nayanar, who said, I will compose 1000 verses on the lotus feet of Lord, that is Pada Kamala. Vedanta Deshikar said, okay, I am too small to attempt this topic. So let me compose 1000 verses on Paduka, the sandals of the Lord. Both of them sat down and started writing out their verses. In about 3 hours, Vedanta Deshikar completed 1000 verses and went home to have some sleep. In the morning, people assembled with great curiosity. Vedanta Deshikar recited his composition called Paduka Sahasram. The challenger could manage to write only 500 verses after struggling the whole night. He did not read out his verses. He was ashamed of himself. Then Vedanta Deshikar came to his rescue saying, well, I have 1000 verses, but they are not of the same quality as your verses. It is like Sute Sukara Yuvati Sutashatam Atyanta Durbhagam Jhatiti Karini Chiraya Sute Sakala Mahipala Lalitam Kalabham. A she-pig begets 100 little ones, but a she-elephant brings forth one spirited little elephant after a long period of gestation. And this little elephant is taken to the loving care of kings and made a celebrity. So Vedanta Deshika lived a life of spiritual greatness. His life was simple and pure. He did not possess anything material. He believed only in the supreme knowledge, lived a pious life visiting Divya Deshas. When he visited a temple and had the darshan of the Archa Murti of the place, his poetic talent poured forth. As such, we have most beautiful stotras on Shrihi, that is Lakshmi, Hayagriva, Garuda, Sri Rama, etc. His Raghuvira Gadya, a prose composition, stands unparalleled Ramastotra. It is very popular today. Beauty of the composition needs to be dealt separately. What sufferings and tragic situations this poet philosopher of the stature of Vedanta Deshikar underwent due to the Muslim aggression of the south is what needs to be noted. In the beginning of the 14th century, the Sultan of Delhi, Alauddin Khilji, sent his general Malik Kafur to sack the South Indian states. Around 1310, he came and reduced to rumble the most famous, prosperous and holy cities like Madurai, this holy seat of Meenakshi Amman, Srirangam, the abode of Lord Sri Ranganatha, and others. The Muslims were ruthless. They massacred everyone that they came across. Plunder, loot, rape, killing, destroying, devastating temples were the holy acts of Muslims. Hindus suffered untold miseries at the hands of these devilish attackers. Will Durant, in his Story of Civilization, comments on the Muslim conquest of Bharat, which says it all. The Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. It's a discouraging tale, for its evident moral is that civilization is a precarious thing whose delicate complex of order and liberty, culture and peace may at any time be overthrown by barbarians invading from without or multiplying from within. The barbarous attacks dealt a death blow to Hindus, their art, culture, literature and philosophy. Sudarshana Bhattar, the famous author of Shruta Prakashika, was one of the many victims. Before he was killed, he entrusted his works and his two sons to the care of Vedanta Deshikar and requested him to save them somehow. That was a very hard time. The roads of the cities, temple yards and homes were strewn with corpses, mutilated bodies of the citizens. Vedanta Deshikar concealed himself and the two children among the corpses. After the enemy retired, he escaped to Satyagalam in Karnataka. Then it was Mysore, a town on the banks of Kaveri. He spent some years there. He wrote a stotra called Abhitistava, wherein he mentions the sources of fear the world is facing and requests the Lord to remove this source of fear. Kalip pranidhi lakshanaihi, kalita shakya lokayataihi, turushka yavanadibhihi, jagati jumbhamanam bhayam, prakrushta nijashaktibihi, prasabhamayudhaih panchabhihi, kshiti tridasha rakshakaihi kshapaya ranganatha kshanat. The criminal activities and devilish attitude are the chief features of Kali Yuga. The Lokayatas, that is the atheists, the Turushkas, Yavanas, etc., are putting the world to torture. Though the word Turushka stands for the Turkish Islamists, all other groups are also meant. We can note the words the Acharya has used in this verse. Jagati Jumbhamanam Bhayam. By the 14th century, the Islamists had invaded many countries and terrorized the people all across the globe. Swami Vidyaranya's contribution in putting down the Muslim menace is something remarkable. He reconverted the Sangama brothers, Hakka and Bukka, to Hinduism and guided them. These brave brothers founded the kingdom of Vijayanagara, which was unparalleled in its political planning, territorial expanse, prosperity, and the encouragement it gave to arts, fine arts, literature, and all other creative expressions of the people. The great political efforts of Vidyaranya Swami and the deep devotional fervor of Vedanta Deshika resulted in the ousting of the devilish Musalmans from the south. A Vijayanagar general by name Goppanacharya reinstalled the Moolamurti in Srirangam in the presence of our author. He praises the efforts of Goppanarya thus. Aniya Neela Shunga Dhyutirachita Jagad Ranjana Danjanadrehe. I am reciting only the last two lines of this verse. Lakshmi Bhumyam Ubabhyam Saha Nijanagare Sthapayan Ranganatham Samyak Varyam Saparyam Punarakrita Yasho Darpano Goppanaryaha. Our author Vedanta Deshika is praising in this verse the services rendered by the great General Goppanarya in reinstalling the Moolamurti at Srirangam. For nearly 250 years after the establishment of Vijayanagar, South India was free from the attacks of the Muslims. Presently, what is the picture? Even after creating Pakistan by severing Bharat, Muslims stayed back in India. Now they have multiplied within, as Will Durant says, and are planning a demographic attack on Hindus. The recent CAA protests all across the country, Delhi riots, Shaheen Bagh game by Muslim women, and the happenings in DJ Halli, KJ Halli, Padarayanapura, etc. in Bangalore, and the increase in the number of ISIS terrorists in the country are all staring at our face. Bharat is facing a grave situation and Hindus should wake up.